Feedback is a very interesting thing because if you walk up to someone and you're like, "Hey, do you like feedback? Do you want to know what's going on so you can be better?" 90% of people are going to be like, "Oh yeah, yeah, oh, I love feedback. I could take feedback. Yeah, I want to be better." But really when push comes to shove and you tell them, "Hey, this sucks. You should have done X, Y, or Z," pretty much everyone gets upset, right? Now, what I like to teach people, especially other coaches who think that they are the answer provider and that their job is to tell people what to do, that's not their job at all, right? Their job is to open up the conversation so that the person can discover on their own what it is that they need to do. Removing ego, right? It's a much more honest take on it. So, to feedback's point, something I like to instill in people is don't just give people feedback, ask them, "Hey, I see something that I think might be able to help. I don't want to come across as some sort of jerk. Do you mind if I share my thoughts with you?" Now you've lowered that ego barrier. You've made it more possible for someone to absorb the message. These are very small tweaks that everyone can make to their behaviors and their habits that have massive, massive upside. And by the way, this works really well in a business, but try it with your wife and kids and a husband. It, like, works really well in personal life as well.
I agree, and there are also people who lack the self-awareness that they even when pointed out or in skillful inquiry, still aren't able to see in themselves the issue or the concern that you're raising.
Absolutely. And when I first started coaching leaders, I saw that as a failure of my own. Why couldn't I make them personally develop or make them more self-aware? No one can make you more self-aware except yourself. That's why it's called self-awareness. This is something I've had to learn that now I try to instill with other coaches. I don't have the answers. You don't have the answers. No one has the answers as to what's going on in our minds, but we can have better questions. We can have better frameworks to invite them to self-explore. And what is interesting, I think a lot of people forget, is folks interact during the interaction. Once you walk away from a really interesting question or from a confrontation, do you just like forget it and go on with your day and never think about it again? Of course not. Like, it pops up, you think, oh, someone else tells you the same thing, and now you're like, oh, well, maybe that is a thing, and I didn't think it was, whatever. Like, these things take time. And, again, what is a true leader's job but to open up that space so other people can fill it with their own personal development and their own realizations? That's the power of what we do as leaders.